I trusted her sweet promises as if they were the very foundation of my world. Each "I love you" a vow of endless devotion, each gentle smile a pledge of our unbreakable bond. I believed every word she spoke, envisioning a future of shared dreams and quiet happiness. Then, hidden beneath a stack of everyday receipts, I found one I had never seen before. A receipt for an upscale hotel, its details whispering of a covert getaway with another. In that excruciating moment, my heart shattered into fragments, and every promise she made turned to bitter ash. I was forced to confront a truth that rewrote our entire future. I still remember the first time I fell for her, the way her laughter lit up a crowded room at a mutual friend's gathering, the tender glimmer in her eyes that made me feel like I had finally found someone who understood the delicate cadence of my soul. We spent countless evenings in deep conversation, weaving dreams of a shared future that, to me, seemed as certain as the rising sun. Every whispered "I love you," every promise of a lifetime together felt like a sacred bond, unbreakable and pure. I trusted her with every secret, every hope, and every longing. I believed that our love was built on honesty, that nothing could ever tarnish the promises we made. For years, we created a life together that seemed filled with the kind of warmth and devotion that most people only read about in novels. We built our home with care, decorating it with mementos of our time together. Photos capturing our happiest moments, love letters tucked away in drawers, and little tokens that spoke of a connection that was both profound and unshakable. Weekends were spent exploring nearby trails, cooking meals that filled our kitchen with delicious aromas and laughter, and planning for a future that I had envisioned as a never-ending celebration of love and togetherness. Then one ordinary afternoon while I was organizing our home office, a space that held our shared plans, bills, and cherished memories, I discovered a slip of paper hidden behind a stack of invoices. At first, I thought it was a misfiled receipt, something inconsequential in the grand tapestry of our everyday life. But as I unfolded the paper, I was met with the elegant print of an upscale hotel's receipt, dated for a night I distinctly remembered him claiming to be busy with work. My pulse quickened, and the world around me seemed to fade into a blur of disbelief and mounting dread. I stared at the receipt in shock. The total was exorbitant, far beyond any expense we'd ever shared, and the details spoke of a night out that was anything but mundane. A lavish dinner, a stay in a suite, and services that suggested intimacy beyond the casual. I felt the ground shift beneath me as I pieced together the implications. While I had trusted her sweet promises of fidelity, she had orchestrated a covert getaway with another. Every "I love you" that had once resonated with warmth now rang hollow, replaced by a searing pain that spread like wildfire through my heart. My mind reeled as I tried to reconcile the image of the woman I loved with the evidence of deception that now lay before me. I remembered all the times she had reassured me that her late nights were for work, vague excuses delivered with a practiced smile. I recalled the moments when she'd hurriedly tucked her phone away when I entered the room, her eyes betraying a hint of something unspoken. Each memory, once a source of comfort, now felt like a puzzle piece in a grim mosaic of betrayal. In the days that followed, I found myself trapped in a labyrinth of conflicting emotions. I was consumed by heartbreak, a profound sorrow for the love I believed in, and by a burning anger that demanded answers. I spent nights alone in the quiet of our home, rereading the receipt and searching for any clue that might explain how I had been so utterly deceived. Every time I closed my eyes, I could see her smiling face, hear her soft whispers of devotion, and feel the crushing weight of betrayal all at once. The pain was so overwhelming that it seemed to permeate every corner of my existence, leaving me questioning my own judgment and the very nature of love itself. Unable to keep this agonizing truth to myself, I reached out to my closest friend, a confidant who had always been there to share in my joys and to lend a shoulder during my darkest moments. We met at a quiet cafe on a rainy afternoon, the sound of raindrops on the window a soft backdrop to our conversation. With a trembling voice and tear-filled eyes, I recounted everything: the discovery of the hidden receipt, the lavish charges at the upscale hotel, and the realization that the night in question was not spent on work, but on a secret escape with another man. My friend listened intently, her own eyes brimming with sympathy and understanding. "You deserve to know the truth," she whispered, reaching out to squeeze my hand. "You deserve a love that is honest, one that doesn't hide behind lies." Her words, tender yet powerful, ignited a spark of determination in me, a resolve to confront the painful reality and to reclaim my dignity. Emboldened by her support, I began gathering every shred of evidence I could find. I scoured through our shared documents, searching for any corroborating details, a calendar entry here, a vague note there, that might confirm my worst fears. I discovered that on several occasions, the dates on the receipt matched nights when she had been evasive, offering only vague explanations for her absence. With each new piece of evidence, the truth crystallized in my mind. While I had trusted her completely, she had built a secret life, a hidden chapter in our shared story that was filled with betrayal and deceit. I created a digital folder on my computer and labeled it Truth, meticulously saving screenshots of text messages, digital receipts, and any evidence that pointed to that fateful night at the Upscale hotel. Each file was a painful reminder of the promises that had been broken and the future that was now a lie. I spent long nights poring over the evidence, my heart aching with every detail, until I was convinced that there was no room for doubt. I had been deceived, and I could no longer ignore the reality that unfolded before me. The weight of the betrayal was crushing, yet amid the sorrow, I began to feel a flicker of empowerment, a resolve to reclaim my life and rebuild my future on my own terms. I knew that confronting her was the only way to begin that process. Over the next several days, I rehearsed what I would say, standing in front of the mirror until my voice, though choked with emotion, grew steady with determination. "I trusted you with everything," I repeated, "and now I see that trust was nothing but a lie." Each word was a promise to myself that I would not let this betrayal define who I was or what I deserved. Finally, the day came when I could no longer keep the truth hidden. I decided to confront her in our living room, a place that had once been our sanctuary of shared dreams. The air was heavy and still, the only sound the distant hum of traffic outside, as if the world itself were holding its breath. When she returned home that evening, I met her at the door with a calm resolve that belied the storm raging within me. "We need to talk," I said softly but firmly, my voice echoing in the quiet space between us. Her eyes widened in a mix of surprise and dread, and I saw, for a fleeting moment, the guilt that she had tried so hard to hide. I led her to the living room, where I had already laid out the folder of evidence on the coffee table, a silent, undeniable witness to the betrayal. I sat down, took a deep breath, and began to speak, my voice steady despite the raw pain that cut through every syllable. "I trusted you when you promised me a love that was pure and unbreakable," I said, "but this receipt, these charges at an upscale hotel, reveal a truth I can no longer ignore. How could you hide a secret getaway with another man from me? How could you let our future be built on a foundation of lies?" The words tumbled out, each one a dagger to my heart. I watched her face, searching for an explanation, but all I saw was the fading glow of sincerity, replaced by a cold, distant fear. For what felt like an eternity we sat in silence. The living room, once filled with the warmth of shared dreams, now held only the stark, painful truth of betrayal. She tried to speak, to offer excuses about work commitments and miscommunications, but every attempt was met with the unyielding weight of the evidence I had gathered. I pressed on, demanding the truth that I deserved, an honest account of the secret life that had been hidden from me. "I trusted you," I repeated, voice quivering with heartbreak, "and now I realize that trust was nothing more than an illusion. I deserve to know the truth, even if it shatters everything we built together." Her eyes filled with tears as she finally spoke, her voice trembling as she tried to explain. But the words that came out were nothing more than feeble attempts at justification, empty and unconvincing against the undeniable proof laid out before us. The conversation was a painful collision of raw emotion and heartbreaking reality, a moment when the future we had dreamed of together dissolved into fragments of deceit. I felt my heart break with every word, yet even as the sorrow threatened to overwhelm me, I felt a growing determination to reclaim my life. In the days that followed the confrontation, I was consumed by a storm of emotions. I spent long, tear-filled nights wandering through our empty home, each room echoing with memories of a love that was now tainted by betrayal. I questioned every promise, every whispered "I love you," wondering how I could have been so utterly deceived. Yet, amid the overwhelming grief, I began to realize that I had the power to rebuild my life from the ruins of our shattered dreams. I reached out to a therapist whose gentle guidance helped me navigate the turbulent sea of emotions, teaching me that while the scars of betrayal might never fully vanish, they could become symbols of the strength I had found within myself. I also sought comfort from friends and family, sharing my painful journey with those who had always believed in me. Their sympathetic words and supportive embraces reminded me that I was not alone in my struggle, that many had faced similar betrayals and emerged stronger on the other side. "You deserve a love that is honest and true," one friend told me softly, "and you deserve a future built on trust." Those words, full of quiet conviction, fueled my determination to reclaim my identity and rebuild a future that was entirely my own. The process of healing was neither quick nor easy. It was a long, winding journey marked by moments of intense sorrow and gradual breakthroughs. I meticulously gathered every piece of evidence, every screenshot and receipt, and compiled them into a digital dossier, a testament to the painful truth that I had been forced to confront. I began to understand that the man I had trusted was not the person I thought he was. His promises of loyalty were nothing more than a facade, a carefully constructed illusion that had crumbled under the weight of his hidden actions. Eventually, the painful decision came, one that, while heartbreaking, was necessary for my own survival. I decided that I could no longer continue living a life built on lies. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, I initiated the process of ending our relationship. I consulted with a trusted attorney, and the legal proceedings, though grueling and fraught with painful memories, affirmed my right to a future free from deception. Every court session, every document signed, was a step toward reclaiming my life, a quiet victory over the betrayal that had once defined my days. Leaving the home we had built together was a moment of profound sorrow and liberation. I packed my belongings slowly, each item a bittersweet reminder of the love I had once known. A framed photograph from our wedding, a box of handwritten letters, the little trinkets that had once filled our home with joy. With a heavy heart, I walked out of that house, leaving behind the echoes of our shared dreams and the painful memories of deception. I moved into a modest apartment in a quiet neighborhood, a space that I gradually transformed into my sanctuary of healing and new beginnings. I redecorated it with bright colors, personal mementos, and symbols of my inner strength, a constant reminder that I was worthy of a love built on honesty. Therapy became my steadfast companion as I navigated the long, arduous path of recovery. In the comforting environment of my counselor's office, I learned to process my grief, channel my anger, and gradually rebuild my sense of self. I poured my heart into my journal, each entry a raw, unfiltered release of the pain and a testament to the strength I discovered within me. Over time, I began to see that while the scars of betrayal might never fully fade, they could serve as markers of survival, a powerful reminder of the resilience that had carried me through the darkest moments of my life. Publicly, the unraveling of our once shared future became a quiet subject among friends and family. Whispers of sympathy, gentle glances, and heartfelt words of encouragement followed me wherever I went. I began to share my journey on a personal blog, writing candidly about the heartbreak, the confrontation, and the painstaking process of rebuilding my life from the ruins of deception. The outpouring of support was overwhelming. Messages from strangers who had faced similar betrayals, kind words from old friends, and a sense of solidarity that made me feel less alone in my struggle. Every encouraging message reinforced my belief that I was not defined by his lies, but by my own unyielding strength. As the months turned into a year, I gradually rediscovered who I was before the betrayal, a woman with dreams, passions, and an unwavering capacity for love. I ventured back into the world of dating with a guarded heart but a spirit that was slowly mending. Each new connection was approached with a blend of cautious optimism and the hard-earned lessons of my past. Every sincere smile, every kind word, helped stitch together the broken pieces of my heart, forming a new tapestry of hope and resilience. I learned that true love must be built on transparency, that every promise must be honored with honesty, and that I was worthy of a partner who cherished my trust as much as I cherished his. Now, as I sit in the soft, gentle glow of my modest apartment, a space transformed into my sanctuary of healing, I reflect on the long, winding journey that led me from the depths of betrayal to a place of quiet empowerment. The memory of that hidden receipt, the shocking evidence of a covert getaway that exposed his secret life, remains etched in my heart as a painful reminder of how fragile trust can be. And yet, it also stands as a testament to the strength I discovered within myself, a strength that allowed me to confront the truth, reclaim my dignity, and rebuild my future on my own terms. Every sunrise now is a promise of new beginnings, a chance to rewrite my story and to shape a future where my destiny is mine to create. I have learned that betrayal, as devastating as it can be, can also serve as a catalyst for transformation, a painful yet powerful invitation to rediscover who we truly are beneath the layers of shattered promises. I now move forward with an unshakable conviction that I deserve a love that is genuine, transparent, and built on mutual respect. A future where trust is not a fragile illusion, but a solid foundation for everything I hold dear. This is my story, a journey of shattered dreams and heart-wrenching betrayal, and ultimately the triumphant reclamation of my life. I trusted her sweet promises, believing every word was a vow meant to secure our future together. But when I discovered that hidden receipt for an upscale hotel, a silent, damning record of a covert getaway with another, I was forced to confront a truth that shattered everything I once believed in. In that soul-crushing moment, I found the strength to gather every piece of evidence, to face the painful reality, and to reclaim my future from the ruins of deception. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of raw, unfiltered pain has led me to this place. A place of quiet strength where I now stand as a survivor determined to live a life defined by truth, self-respect, and the unyielding promise that I am worthy of a love that is real. Every new day is an invitation to begin again, a fresh canvas on which I can rewrite my story, to build a future that is entirely my own. I have learned that while betrayal may leave scars that never fully fade, those scars are not marks of defeat but emblems of my resilience, a testament to the unbreakable spirit that carried me through even the darkest nights. I now step boldly into each new day with a heart that beats with hope and a spirit that refuses to be defined by lies. I am the architect of my own destiny, and with every sunrise, I choose to live a life filled with genuine love, unwavering honesty, and the profound belief that I deserve nothing less than a future built on the unshakable foundations of truth and self-worth.